Hey there, speculators. It's Roderick, lead futures trader at Traders Dev Group. Hey, in tonight's Trade Journal Screencast for Monday, March 2nd, 2020, we got Robinhood, the big outage at the free stock trading, very popular stock trading app among millennials, or where the average account balance across 10 million accounts is $510. Anyhow, their app was out today, so I'll talk a little bit about that, the benefits of probably having more than one account if you can. Number two, we ramped like crazy today. Another very strong day in the Futures on Fire trade room for our futures trader. Prop traders did very well as well. And speaking of prop, I just started today beta testing a new prop program from T3. Full disclosure, I am associated with T3 and have been in the past, and I'm currently associated with T3. So most of my reviews of the program are probably going to be a little biased. But I'm going to focus on how to actually import from a brand new platform that I've never used before, Sterling Trader Pro, into the Trade Journal, and we'll go ahead and get started right after this. Okay, so just quick recap of today. It was a choppy and turbulent session right at the beginning, and then 3:30 ramp really strong. And in the last 15 or so minutes, they really ramped everything. I think the Dow finished up 1,300 points or something like that, and Dow futures were up well over 1,000. So very strong day. And then right into the close, we had a little bit of wacky action. Two primary day trading accounts trading our two primary strategies did pretty well today. One account up about $2,300, the other one a little under $1,000. And we traded predominantly only the stock index futures. And this was a good day, even though we were down a little bit on gold. Gold continues to be a little bit of a perplexing trade given the overall market environment. All right, nothing else to show here. Did want to comment just briefly on the Robinhood situation. So if you're not familiar, Robinhood is very popular, mostly mobile trading app. And they kind of led this whole move towards commission-free trading that's really changed the entire industry. So while I initially thought the thing was a toy when I looked at it about 3 years ago, it's really become a pretty prominent application. And today, I think they're self-clearing also. For a while, they used to clear through Apex, which cleared a lot of these smaller broker-dealers. But I think they moved to self-clearing, so maybe that was the reason for the issue today. But anyhow, their app was out, I think, for the entire trading session on a day in which the market was rallying like crazy, and a lot of very beaten down sectors and stocks and the entire indices were rallying very strong. So my takeaway there is, if you're able at this point in your active trading career, or just as an investor, when you're able to, you probably don't want to have all your eggs in one basket. So if you have the opportunity to actually have a little bit of money at a couple different brokerage firms, so that if you have to actually get access to the markets and make trades or hedge off a position or take advantage of volatility when it exists, you have the opportunity to do that. You'd probably be pretty unlucky if you had two different brokerage accounts and both of them were experiencing two different brokerage accounts at two different brokers, and both were experiencing problems on the same day. Because outages are not unusual. They happen across, they spare no one. They happen at the biggest brokerages and at some of the smaller startups as well. So in the futures market and in Futures on Fire, that's why I actually do have 3 day trading accounts, and I have 1 position trading account, and I have different connections for each one of them, and I also have them at different brokers. So sometimes it gets a little hectic to talk about all those different positions, but today's a very good example of the reasons why you want to be quote-unquote diversified in terms of your access to the markets. All right, and then the next thing that I wanted to touch on tonight is this right here. So this is a paper account on Sterling Trader Pro. I've never traded on this application before, and those of you who follow the channel or know me very well know that I'm not much of a stock trader at all. I invest in stocks, but I'm going to have to trade a little bit of equities here in this particular program. And what it is it's a prop program, proprietary trading, to qualify for a funded account at T3 Securities or T3 Trading or something like that. I don't know exactly yet. And I used to be an educator with T3. So I'm very biased here. I'm going to, by very biased, I mean that if there's any issues with this platform or program, I'm going to report them, and we're going to get them fixed, and we're going to make this a great program. When I say we, I have a vested interest because I want to teach and train people how to qualify for capital and access to funding, if you want to do that, across all asset classes, stocks, options, futures, and even maybe Forex. And as I often talk about in the Futures on Fire trade room, which you can find out more about in the link below, the various programs that are part of our community. By the way, if you like this content, or you're digging, or you're new to the channel here and it's resonating with you in any way, shape, or form, hit that like button. That really helps out the channel. And then subscribe, and then hit the little bell notification so you know the next time that I'm broadcasting. Also leave a comment. I read all the comments. If there's anything that you'd like to see me cover that would help. Mostly I am focused on the active trading and alternative trading space, and I've been doing it for about 25 years. So in a broad sea of all kinds of financial education that's out there, my little niche and focus, and where I think I'd resonate most, is what I would call the aspiring professional, or the passionate self-directed investor who realizes that this gig takes time and you got to put in the effort. I'm not for the get-rich folks. I'm not for the push-button kind of stuff. I'm not for the small penny stock kind of trading, things like that. And you're never going to see me driving a Lambo. All right. So anyway, what we're looking at on the screen is this the interface here. I won't go through the positions that I had, but in funny paper money today, and I have a few open positions. What's different about this than other prop programs is that you can actually hold your positions in here, which is kind of cool. I don't know all the rules associated with this yet, and of course I'm not actually going through it to qualify for the funding. I'm just going through it to show that it's possible, and the strategies and things that we do as a community might be useful in terms of this program as well. So what I'm going to do now is come over here, and I have not done this, and I'm pretty sure that this is a big enough platform that there it is, Sterling Trader Pro. Okay, cool. So here's the rules on Sterling Trading Pro, how you import them. By the way, this is the Tradervue Trade Journal. I talk about this in a lot of other videos. You can find out more using the description below, where I have a link to this trade journal. If you don't know your stats, then you're not probably on the route to being an aspiring or a serious kind of a professional trader. So you want to have some way of kind of tracking your trading, and the Tradervue journal is what I use. So what I'm going to try to do here is figure out how to get this imported into Sterling Pro. And what I'm going to do is pause the video. I'll be right back as soon as I read through these instructions and figure out what it's going to take to import these trades. Okay, I'm back. This took a little while, but I followed the instructions. It's not super intuitive. I went onto the Sterling Trader Pro dashboard, and I pull up the trading monitor. That's this right here. And I went to the executions tab right here. And then I went to view and settings, and then I clicked on columns, and then I selected just the execution columns that this instructions indicate. Then I arranged them in the order that it says here: date, time, symbol. Now this says shares, but I imagine it's quantity, because it says that I can do options as well. And execution price inside. So that's what I got. I got it all there. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to export it as a text file. So I didn't figure that out. Here we go. Export all as a text file, and I'm going to call it T3 Guardian. I don't know. And today's date, which is 02. You don't have to do this, but I'm just doing it like this. 0220, something like that. And I don't want to put it there. I'm going to put it in my documents library and hit save. All right. I'm going to close this. And let's see. Okay, so Sterling Trader Pro. Tags to add to this. I do not want to add any tags to this. This would be if I called it a futures trade or a stock trade or options trades, but I have a bit of both. But I am going to create a new account tag. Now, I have not imported any demo stuff for quite a while, but I want to use, I can show you that if you're just learning, it's good to get through this process and import your stats as you're doing things when you're just on demo, which is what this paper Guardian account is. So it's called T3, I guess I'm a guru, or maybe everyone's called a guru. GUR. That's all I'm going to call it. T3 Guru. That's the account tag that I'm going to add to this because there's not a real account. This is a paper account. Now we are going to choose this file, and we are going to come to our documents, and it should be right here. And I'm going to give this a 30% chance of working. Let's see. I'm setting the line at 30%. Upload. Refresh. Well, so far so good. And we do have open positions. Let's go to the journal view. Okay, now we need to go to the tag of T3 Guru. So we just see those trades. And there we go. I think all this does is track. I don't know what it tracks, but let's come down here and see if this is accurate. We should have some IWM still and VIX. Looks pretty good, except that it did not import the options. It did not import the options. So I'll have to check into that. Check back for the next video. I'll go through it. We're getting a little long here, but on the Trade Journal Screencast. But this was a Trade Journal Screencast today for Monday, March 2nd, 2020, where I'm looking to figure out how to import trades from a brand new prop program I'm going through at T3 called T3 Guardian. A lot more on that upcoming in the channel over the coming weeks and months. The program does take a little while to get through, which is actually a good thing versus this immediate reward kind of thing that a lot of the futures folks are doing out there in these prop programs. And I'm going to make sure I import every single trading day activity into the Trade Journal, and it looks like, though, unfortunately, it only imported the equity positions, but none of the, well, this is an options position here, I think. Yeah, there's an options position. So see what happened with some of the others. All right, this is Roderick with the Trade Journal Screencast for Monday, March 2nd, a big ramp day after a lot of selling that's taken place most recently. I'd like to remind you to stay green and trade like you mean it. Thanks.